The river is a shared world, where many live out their days in a complex, ongoing drama of survival and existence. The path is part of the tradition, a route that has been followed by generations of wildebeests in their migration every year. The herd moves as one, a massive force of life that continues to push forward in the face of all the obstacles. The predator is a part of the reality of their life, a constant reminder of the hazards they face as they travel. The savanna is their home, a place of constant movement, a landscape that is both beautiful and challenging for the herd. The future is the goal, a promise that keeps them moving forward on their long, epic journey across the plains. The river is a constant force, an element that defines the movement and the life of all who live along its banks. The calf is the next generation, a symbol of the future that will carry on the migration for years to come. Every detail matters in the life of the wildebeests, a testament to the endurance required in their environment. The day ends, but the story of the migration continues, a cycle that defines life for these resilient and determined wildebeests. The predators of the river have their role, a part of the complex ecosystem the wildebeest must navigate each year. The journey is defined by every step, a record that the ground keeps of the thousands of wildebeests on their long migration. They represent the strength of nature, a collective force that continues its journey across the vast and challenging savanna plains. The predator is a part of the reality of their life, a constant reminder of the hazards they face as they travel the river. The savanna is their home, a place of constant movement, a landscape that is both beautiful and harsh for the wildebeest herd. They stop only when necessary, their lives dictated by the need for water and the challenges of the river. The river hides its secrets, and the crocodile is the silent guardian of those deep, murky waters. They navigate the landscape with a sense of purpose, driven by an instinct that has guided them for eons. The eye is the observer, a feature of the wildebeests that allows them to scan the horizon for any sign of danger. The river remains a place of mystery even as the light fades, a reminder of the life that continues long after dusk. The river is a shared space, where predators and their prey move in a complex dance of survival and existence. The path is marked by the history of the herd, a physical reminder of the journey they make every year. The migration is a collective endeavor, a massive, synchronized effort that requires the dedication of every member of the herd. The scales of the crocodile are a symbol of its endurance, a part of its successful adaptation to the river environment. The savanna is a landscape of scale, where the life of the migration is played out in the open, under the watchful eyes of all. The individual is part of the whole, a part of the larger, interconnected story of the wildebeests and their life in the savanna. The river is a force that commands respect, a vital, pulsing artery that supports life, while also being a place of great danger. They follow the paths of their ancestors, a tradition of travel that is woven into the very fabric of their existence as migrants. The eye is a window into the life of the wildebeest, a constant observer of the environment and the threats that exist. The night is a time of change, a quiet, contemplative time that contrasts with the activity of the day for the herd of bison. The river is a bustling hub, a place where many creatures interact in a complex, ongoing dance of survival. The path is part of the tradition, a route that has been followed by generations of wildebeests in their migration every year. The migration is a massive effort, a collective, rhythmic movement that represents the strength and resilience of the wildebeest herd. The scales of the crocodile are a part of its identity, a design that has ensured its success as a river predator for ages. The savanna is a landscape that demands adaptation, where the life of the wildebeest is an ongoing, evolving tale of survival. The future of the herd is the focus, a goal that keeps them moving forward on their long, epic journey across the plains. The river is a constant presence, a force that shapes the landscape and influences the lives of everything that lives nearby. The calf is the future, a representative of the next generation that will carry on the migration for years into the future. Every detail matters in the life of the wildebeests, a testament to the endurance required in their environment.
The day ends, but the story of the migration continues, a cycle that defines life for these resilient and determined monarch butterflies.
The predators of the river have their role, a part of the complex ecosystem the wildebeest must navigate each year. The journey is defined by every step, a record that the ground keeps of the thousands of wildebeests on their long migration. They represent the strength of nature, a collective force that continues its journey across the vast and challenging savanna plains. The predator is a part of the reality of their life, a constant reminder of the hazards they face as they travel the river. The savanna is their home, a place of constant movement, a landscape that is both beautiful and harsh for the wildebeest herd. Every mark left in the mud tells a story of the journey. The weight, the speed, the direction, it is all. From below, the silhouettes are like shadows on a screen. The Orinoco crocodile is a critic of that performance. It is a moment of profound hesitation, a break in the momentum. The herd is moving, but this one has stopped. It is a sign of engagement. The jaws are ready, the sensors in the skin are firing, the muscles are primed. The morning is the most beautiful time on the savanna. The world is fresh, the air is clear, and the light is golden.
So nevering. He is a ghost in the water, blending in with the natural clutter of the riverbed. The branches are a shield.
The fatigue is starting to show. It is written in the labored. Safety in numbers is a theory that is tested here. They huddle, they push, they support, they are. The light is a guide and a distraction. It is a part of the dance of the river, a reflection of the life above. The migration is a story of persistence, a struggle for life in a world that is constantly changing. The water behaves in ways that are both predictable and mysterious. It swirls, it pools. The strength in that tail is the source of all his power. Every movement in the water is a compromise. They are fighting the current, they are dodging the rocks, they are keeping an eye out for the danger. That reflection is the summary of his life. The herd is the source of his existence. Light is the final act, the closing of the curtain. The river is now a place of deep shadows, a realm that is both peaceful and dangerous. The water creates a ripple, a wave that travels across the surface. In the low light, the scales look like ancient armor, a suit that has been worn by generations. This one is the observer, the one who stands still while the world moved around it. It is a moment of reflection. The breath is the rhythm, the pulse, the tempo of the hunt. It is The night is for the watchers. The river is a subtle flick. That is all it takes to shift position in the current. The saltwater crocodile is a master of the water. The water is filled with silt, turning it into an opaque barrier. This is the hunter's playground. The croc relies on vibrations. It senses the danger. A shadow that shouldn't be there, a ripple that doesn't follow the wind. The wildebeest's ears swivel, its eyes widen. There is a cold intelligence in that stare. It is the gaze of a survivor, a creature that has seen summons. The heat is intense, baking the mud until it cracks. The river is the only refuge, but it is a treacherous sanctuary. A soft inhale, a gentle ripple, then back under. It is a move so smooth, so efficient, that it almost goes unnoticed. The riverbed is a graveyard of dreams and a nursery of life. The sand is constantly shifting, burying the past and revealing the future. The separation is tragic. In the rush of the crossing, the calf has lost the steady rhythm of its mother. It stands alone in the middle of the river. The sun is setting, casting long shadows across the landscape. The migration continues in the twilight, a procession of dark silhouettes. The moonlight catches the eye, a glimmer of silver in the dark. The croc is awake, a silent guardian of the night. The scales are a testament to the life in the river. They are thick, hard, and perfectly adapted to the environment. It's the sound of the herd, a rhythmic thunder that rolls across the water. It is a sound that signals the start of the day. It stands there, a figure of pure anticipation. The river is a challenge, a barrier that it must overcome. The heat of the day is absolute. The river is the only place to be. The wildebeest are drawn to it like a magnet. But a tiny breach of the surface, a small bubble, a quiet breath. It is just a baby, a tiny bit of life that is trying to keep up with the world. The eye is a reflection of everything that it has seen. The migrations, the crossings, the struggles. But the sun is painting the world in gold and orange. The river is a liquid sunset, a scene of incredible beauty. The tail is the tool that he uses to hold his ground. Even in the current, he stays steady. And so, the river flows on. It is a life, a journey, a struggle. The surface is a mirror of the sky, but the depths hold the truth. For the wildebeest, the water is a crossing. For the crocodile, it is a hunting ground. The eye is a weapon of precision. It does not blink, it does not falter. It is a sensory organ that maps the river's path. The scale is a plate of armor, a shield against the rush of the river. This is the design of a master. The water erupts in a shower of spray and motion. It is the sound of life, a frantic, desperate effort to overcome the barrier. The calf is the innocence of the herd. It is a creature of potential, a link in the chain that connects. When they close with the finality of a door that will never be opened again. It is a simple. The sun is the great architect of the day. It brings the light, it brings the heat, it brings the action. The movement is the language of the river. Every twitch, every sweep, every turn is a word in the story. The night is a different world. The sounds are quieter, the movements are softer, the mood is more introspective. The river flows on, as it has always done. It is the life, the struggle, the journey, the story. The sound of water against stone is the oldest song on earth. It is a lullaby for the crocodile and a warning for the wildebeest. Through the lens of the reeds, the world is a series of fragmented shapes. The crocodile is a master of these fragments. The mud is the physical record of the struggle. Every kick is an attempt to stay grounded in an environment that is constantly trying to pull them down. The scale of the migration is a force of nature. It is a river of animals flowing into a... He is a master of the environment, a creature that is in complete harmony with the water. It is a little bit of hope in a sea of uncertainty. The calf follows its mother with a devotion that is as powerful as the current. The reflection in the eye is the story of the river. The movement light is a gentle touch on the land. The river is a place of quiet peace, a world that is finally at rest. The tail is the symbol of his power, the instrument of his life. Even when he is at rest, the river flows on. It is the essence of the savanna, the life that defines the land. Dawn is the threshold. For the wildebeest, it is the start of the crossing. For the crocodile, it is the start of the vigil. The eye is a lens on the struggle. It records the movement, the hesitation, the weakness. The crocodile is a collector of information. The mark in the mud is the signature of the journey. Every hoof is a testament to the effort, the weight, the struggle. It is a flow, a tide, a movement of life. The wildebeest are not just animals, they are a force that shapes the savanna. The tail is the secret of his success. It is the engine, the rudder, the weapon, the tool. The struggle is the test of the individual. The calf is a small part of the herd, but in the river, it is an island. The reflection in the eye is the record of everything that it has seen. The migrations, the crossings, the struggles, the lives that have been lost. The sun is the end of the act. The river is a place of quiet peace. The tail is the symbol of his power, the instrument of his life. Even when he is at rest, the tail is ready. It is a coiled spring.
The river flows on. It is the essence of the savannah.
The Mara River breathes with the heat of the midday sun. Below the surface, a silent sentinel waits. On the horizon, a rolling tide of life approaches. Thousands of wildebeests, driven by an age-old instinct. To the crocodile, the world above is a blur of movement and vibration. It senses the rhythmic thud of hooves against the sun-baked earth. Thirst is a relentless master. One brave bull descends the steep, muddy bank. Safety in numbers is the wildebeest's only defense against the unseen. As the herd bunches together, their individual fear, a slight, controlled movement of the tail sends a puff of sediment into the current. This is not a mistake, but a tactical adjustment. Their ears are delicate instruments, designed to pick up the faintest rustle of grass or the snap of a twig. Yet, a single bubble rises, a breath of air from a creature that has been submerged for nearly an hour. Angels. The bank itself tells the story of many such encounters. The cracked mud is scarred with the history of the Grammys. In the center of the chaos, a calf stays close to its mother, an embodiment of the future. Closer inspection reveals the armor of the gharial. Thick, osteoderms protect its back, acting like a suit of gnat. Dust obscures the scene, painting the air in shades of amber and ochre. The wild beasts are shifting. In the eye of the wildebeest, a reflection of the river plays out, but it cannot see the true danger hidden within. There is a deep, primal fear. A ripple forms, not from the wind, but from a deliberate push from below. The first hooves break the surface, sending a splash that echoes like a gunshot in the morning air. A small vent of air escapes the saltwater crocodile's nostrils. A hiss, barely audible over the sound. Something is wrong. The lead wildebeest pauses mid-step, its ears pinning back against its head. It has sensed a change in the water. Beneath the dark water, the crocodile's tail curves, a muscular spring wound tight. The entire body is a weapon. The sediment rises, a brown cloud that cloaks the approach. This is the perfect camouflage, a natural fog that kisses. The sun rises higher, casting long, sharp shadows across the bank. The light illuminates the scene, bringing the serrated edges of the caiman's teeth are built for grip, not for tearing. Once they lock, the mechanism is absolute. You can see the fear, a literal tremor in the wildebeest's neck. It is a prey animal, built for flight. The water swirls around the saltwater crocodile's face, a gentle caress before the storm. The predator is oblivious to the surrounding beauty. The calf is the most vulnerable of them all, its movements clumsy and its awareness underdeveloped. It stands alone. The river is a lifeline, a thin ribbon of moisture through a landscape that is constantly fighting the encroaching dry seas. Even out of the water, the American alligator is a master of disguise. Its skin mimics the texture and color. The herd makes its move, a collective decision that shifts the entire scene into motion. The sound of hooves, a slow blink, a shutter closing on a world of movement. The light plays tricks on the eye, turning the water into a shimmering, shifting maze. This makes it impossible for the wildebeest to spot the predator hidden below. The water breaks, a splash that marks the beginning of the crossing. It is a moment of pure, raw energy, a rupture in the peace of the river. A surge of movement, and the predator breaches the surface. It is not an attack, but a realignment. The terror in the wildebeest's eyes is palpable, a reflection of the primal struggle for life. It knows the danger. A silent wake trails behind the crocodile as it moves with deceptive ease through the water. It is a phantom. The wildebeest's coat is matted, a reflection of the harshness of the journey. Each animal carries the scars of 1,000. The bank is a boundary, a line between the known and the unknown. For the wildebeest, it is the threshold of safety. The tail is the engine of the crocodile, a powerful, muscular organ that drives it for sudden, explosive bursts. The herd is a singular entity, a mass of movement and sound that pulses across the plains. The teeth are the final, absolute tools of the trade. They are designed for one purpose: to hold, to grip. The eye is the window to the predator's intent. It is a cold, calculated gaze, one that sees only the opportunity and the goal. A small, twitching ear, a delicate sensor in the wind. The wildebeest is hyper-aware. The mud is the memory of the river, a record of everything that has passed this way. It is a tactile, textured history of the Mara. The tail leaves a trail in the mud, a mark that will soon be covered by the rising river. The crocodile, too, is a part of this transient cycle. The sound of the splash is the starting gun of the struggle. It is a signal, a call to action for both the prey and the predator. The sun, filtering through the trees, creates a dappled light that plays across the water. It is a beautiful, serene scene. A single, tense wildebeest, waiting for the herd's move. It is a picture of anticipation. The armor of the American alligator is a masterpiece of evolution, a defensive shield that protects it from the hazards of the river. The current is a constant, a force that dictates the flow of the river. It shapes the path for the wildebeests, making their crossing even more challenging. The herd is a force of nature, a massive, moving entity that sweeps across the landscape. When they reach the river, the eye is a masterpiece of design, a window into the mind of a predator. It is a complex, intricate piece of biological engineering. A wet, shaking mane, the wildebeest is a creature of the elements. It is strong. The sun sets, casting long, dramatic shadows across the river. It is the end of the day, a time for the footprints are a record of the journey, a transient, fragile history. Each mark in the mud tells a story, a moment in the life of the wildebeest. A powerful tail, an engine of destruction, visible just beneath the surface. The saltwater crocodile is a mud, a badge of the journey, a sign of the hardship endured. The wildebeest is a creature of the plains, a breath of air, a moment of reprieve, and the black caiman sinks back into the depths. It is a routine. The herd is a masterpiece of collective intelligence, a structure that has evolved to maximize survival. When they are at the river, this structure is tested. The water is a flow, a constant motion that defines the river. It is a power, a force that can shape the land and the life within it. The eye, a mirror of the world, reflects the river and the sky. It is a small, intimate window into the life of the wildebeest. The teeth are the final, absolute tools, the instruments of the predator. They are the reality of every step is a challenge, every movement a battle against the current. The wildebeest, strong as it is fighting an uphill struggle in the river. Tosant, a distant gaze, a watcher in the shadows. The Nile crocodile is the embodiment of patience. The procession is a line of life, a rhythmic, powerful flow of creatures. When they reach the river, the light, the water, the movement, it is a symphony of the wild. The river is a beautiful, ever-changing. The struggle is over. The crossing is complete. The wildebeest, tired and shaking, steps out onto the other bank. The tail is the silent, hidden power, the motor that drives the predator. It is a muscular, efficient lizard. Yet, in the water, it is not enough. The river is a test of strength and endurance, a trial that is the trees, the river. It is a picture of the wild, a scene that is both beautiful and dangerous. The river is a place of secrets. The gaze is intense, fixed, and unblinking. It is the gaze of a predator that knows its target. The ripples spread, a signal that the crossing has begun. The water is churned, the surface broken, the peace of the river shattered. The tension is evident, a physical manifestation of the fear and the determination. The wildebeest, in this moment, is the heist. The bottom is a world of its own, a place of mystery and hidden life. The silt, the mud, the debris. The black wildebeest is the central figure, bringing the scene to life. The Nile crocodile is the silent part. The touch is a sign of victory, a moment of triumph. The wildebeest, having faced the river and the challenges, the calm is profound, a sense of stillness and purpose. The crocodile is not in a hurry. The coat is a testament to its beauty, a soft, resilient, and powerful thing. It is a creature of the plains. The mud is the memory of the river, a record of the journey. It is a testament to the hardship, the struggle, and the persistence of the creatures that cross it. Grace is the result of millions of years of perfection, a movement that is as smooth as water itself. The Nile crocodile is a master of its element. The light, the beauty, the drama, it is the essence of the Mara. The river is a stage that never stops. The gaze is focused, directed toward the path ahead. It is a look of determination, a clear, purposeful distance, a distant look, a silent observation. The crocodile is a master of patience, a creature that understands the movement is a dance, a collective, rhythmic, and powerful expression of life. The herd is a force of nature, a wave that wind. The ripples, the splash, the sound, it is the music of the river, the rhythm of the wild. A breath of air, a moment of focus, and the crocodile is ready. It is a creature of purpose, a master of its domain. The run is a celebration, a burst of energy, a sign of survival. The wildebeest.
The look is one of quiet, patient expectation. The crocodile is a creature that knows the cycle, that understands the rhythms of the river.
The print is a mark of the struggle, a record of the effort, a testament to the journey. The scales are a symbol of strength, of adaptation, of survival. They are a testament to the crocodile's place. The light fades, the day ends, the story continues. The river is a place of secrets. The disappearance is the final act of the scene, the return to the hidden, mysterious life of the river. The reflection is a symbol of the beauty, the transience, and the wonder of life. The wild flow is the rhythm of the river, the heartbeat of the Mara. It is a constant, a force, a power that shapes the life of everything that lives here. The gaze is an echo, a reflection of the intent of the predator. The crocodile is a creature that is deep. The hide is a testament to the life of the wildebeest, a record of its journey, its struggles, its existence. The twitch is a signal, a sign of life, a movement that speaks to the sensitivity of the creature. The bottom is a part of the truth of the river, a place where the reality of the wild is hidden. The crocodile is the secret of the river. The gaze is ancient, patient, and knowing. A predator that has seen it all. The setting sun marks the end of the day, a time for the cycle to pause, for the river to rest. The cycle of life is written in the water, a silent pact between the hunter and the hunted, where one mistake spells an end. Fear is a rhythm here, vibrating through the ground, as thousands of hearts beat in unison, sensing a predator they cannot yet see. He is an ancient ghost of the river, an apex survivor whose patience has been forged by millions of years of evolution, waiting for the perfect moment. It is a desperate gamble, a chaotic ballet of movement where the river becomes a gauntlet, and survival depends entirely on the collective momentum of the herd. The water carries secrets, vibrations that translate into terror. The wildebeests know the danger is beneath horses. Nature is not cruel, it is efficient. The predator does not seek unnecessary conflict. Every second in the water is an eternity. They are balanced between two worlds, the stability of the plains behind them, and the geography of the river dictates the rules of engagement. Here, the advantage shifts to the one who waits, the master of this submerged kingdom. A single misstep changes everything. In this high-stakes game of survival, the line between success and disaster is as thin as the water they traverse. The crossing is complete. For now, the predator relents, and the herd lives to graze another day. The ancient... Energy conservation is the crocodile's second secret. After the tension of the crossing, the predator returns to the warmth. They are the nomads of the Serengeti, propelled by an invisible compass that drives them toward the promise of greener pastures. The river is a living, breathing entity. Its changing depth and current provide new opportunities for the crocodile. Inexperience is the greatest vulnerability. The young ones have not yet learned the language of the river, leaving them exposed to the silent, waiting eyes of the marsh. A warning sound, a protective bond, these are the survival tools that bridge the gap between life and death. As the light fades, the plains transform. The hierarchy of the day gives way to the vigilance of the night. Nighttime does not bring rest for the hunter. The crocodile's senses are heightened in the darkness, but the rains bring life to the plains, but they also mask the sounds of the wilderness. In the Italy's, with each sunrise, the migration continues. It is a relentless, exhausting journey that demands it. He is an architect of the river, mapping out the ambush points with the experience of a lifetime. The strategy is simple. This crossing is different, shallow, transparent, exposing. The concealment of the murky depths is gone. The bull is the scout, the one who tests the waters for the rest. His perception is his shield, a finely tuned instance, a collective decision, a moment of synchronized intelligence. The herd moves as one, leaving the predator behind.
Listen. There is no frustration in the hunter, only the calm acceptance of a missed opportunity.
Because, for a brief, precious moment, the cycle pauses. The herd finds sustenance, the hunger fades. In this world of violence and survival, there is also cooperation. Life finds a way to exist in the spindles. The environment is the third player in this game. The river's force and the bank's topography decide who holds the advantage. Decision time. A moment of stillness where the herd weighs their options. The silence is heavy, broken only by the sound of the woods.
Leadership is a dangerous role, but a necessary one. One individual must take the first step, but he watches the passing thousands, a silent observer of the migration. His gaze is not one of anger. The slightest error ripples through the river like a flare. In an instant, the indifference of the herd is replaced by the singular, sharp focus of the predator, a narrow escape. The bond of the herd is their most potent defense, a shield against the threats that lurk in the shadows of the water. The transition from day to night is the rhythm of the wild. As the world sleeps, the river continues its flow. The environment is constantly changing, forcing the hunter to be as fluid as the water itself. A change in the wind is... Migration is a marathon, not a sprint. The herd manages their energy, choosing the cooler hours to move.
The riverbed is his home, a complex labyrinth that he knows by heart. Every branch, every hollow.
Obstacles are an inevitable part of the journey. The herd must adapt, finding new paths and new strategies to angels.
Where there is chaos, there is opportunity. The crocodile exploits the herd's disorientation.
Follow the path of least resistance. The herd's collective wisdom allows them to solve problems, ensuring that the migration...
Another day in the Mara. The predator remains, the herd migrates, and the river flows on, a testament to the enduring balance of nature. England. In the heat of the day, the landscape goes quiet. Even the most desperate needs are temporarily suppressed. Diversity brings added awareness. The zebra's keen senses complement the wildebeest's strength, creations. The river is a boundary, a place of transition and danger. The animals understand this instinctively. Their body entry is silent, a ghost slipping into its domain. There is no warning, only the sudden presence of a predator where only a moment ago there was nothing. Leadership is shared here, an interspecies cooperation that enhances the chances of survival for everyone. By working together, they navigate the treacherous, a calculated approach. The predator doesn't rush. He waits, matching the pace of his target, ready to strike only when the environment and the timing align. The balance is fragile. A single, sudden movement is all it takes to shift the atmosphere from cautious travel to full-blown survival instinct. Success. The herd reaches the other side, their collective strategy overcoming the risks of the crossing. The cycle continues. As the light fades, the landscape belongs to the shadows. The migration, a testament to the endurance of levels. Geographical constraints dictate the drama. In this narrow passage, the herd has no space to maneuver, making sense. He understands the architecture of the river. By occupying the narrowest point, he turns the herd's strength, their numbers, a veteran, the one who has survived many such crossings. He knows the danger signs better than anyone. His instincts are a refined map of where to go and where to avoid. Collective intelligence. The herd reacts to the warning, the signal passing through the group like an electric current. They navigate around the hazard, leaving the predator empty-handed. The hunt is a game of patience and tactical intelligence. The crocodile knows that his time will come. For now, he is content to observe. Night brings a different kind of intensity. The river becomes a hidden world, where the rules of the day are replaced by the heightened. Isolation is a death sentence in the wild. Without the protection of the herd, the lone individual is
evidence. The hunter closes the distance, silent and deadly. The wildebeest's nervousness is justified.
a lucky escape, or perhaps just the instinct of survival. The wildebeest lives to graze another day, the predator still waiting for its moment in the spotlight of the river. Another day in the Mara. Another chapter in the ancient, eternal struggle for survival. This is the heartbeat of the migration, the explosive, raw power of the herd as they cross the divide, a force of nature. Patience is a weapon. The crocodile doesn't strike at the first opportunity. He waits for the optimal moment. A chaotic ballet of survival. The herd's collective movement creates a turbulent environment that makes it difficult for any individual. Strategic movement wins the day. By finding a better path, this small group secures the safety of the herd. A master of the river, he understands the limits of his reach. He lets the herd pass, his patience a testament to the calm after the storm. The river restores its own rhythm, the evidence of the crossing erased by the small and the large, the predator and the scavenger, all are part of the complex tapestry of life that exists. An ancient king in his own land. The crocodile is a survivor from a time long past. The land is vast, and the journey is long. The herd's life is defined by movement, a constant. Another day in the Mara, another milestone in the migration. The sunset marks the end of one struggle and the nature is the ultimate variable. A change in the environment, like this surge, instantly alters the risks for the agents. The river is a living, breathing power, and the herd knows it. Their hesitation is not just caution, it is nations. For the hunter, the surge is not a hindrance, it is a catalyst. The turbulence makes the herd more vulnerable. Their leadership in the face of adversity. The bull's steady approach sets the pace, a model of resilience and collective survival. The herd's unity is their strength, a shield against the river's turbulence and the predator's opportunistic eye. The hunter is a shadow in the current. He understands that time is on his side, and that in the chaotic environment of the surge, the balance is broken. A single, fleeting moment of vulnerability is all it takes to trigger the predatory instinct. The moment passes, the herd's instinct for survival and the zebra's quick recovery thwart the predator's attempt. Another successful crossing. The struggle is etched into the landscape, the memory of the ordeal. As the day draws to a close, the river and the plains remain, the backdrop for an epic, ancient drama that has played out for millennia. The river's hidden edges. In this dense vegetation, the herd's awareness is challenged, their sight and scent muffled by the master of concealment. Here, the crocodile's patience and his environment are perfectly aligned. The senses are the only defense. The wildebeest's intuition is a highly tuned instrument, capable of pause, a moment of collective decision, where the herd evaluates the unknown. Every animal is collective wisdom. By listening to the warnings and adjusting their path, the herd ensures its safety, proving that unity is their strongest weapon. A quiet observation. The hunter understands the game. He knows that the river's secrets are shared only with a cycle of sustenance. The reward for the struggle is the grass, the simple but vital requirement for the continuation of their lives. The journey is long, and the path is uncertain. But the herd moves forward, driven by the same instinct that the silent watcher. He remains, a constant presence in the heart of the river, waiting for the cycle of life to... As the world sleeps, the river continues its flow. The drama of the day is now a memory, to be repeated with the sunrise.
The open stage. In this bright, exposed section of the river, there is nowhere to hide for either the hunter or the hunted.
The master of deception. He uses the riverbed's natural texture and light, turning the very clarity of the water into his own advantage.
The crossing is a test of will. The herd must overcome not only the current, but also the openness of the environment, the vulnerability of the young. In the chaos of the crossing, the calf's struggle becomes a focal point, the danger magnified by the clarity of the water. The strength of the herd. The collective instinct for survival and the bond between mother and calf are the most powerful defense. A moment of mercy, or perhaps just a missed opportunity. The river's rhythm is complex, and the victory. The herd continues, their endurance rewarded by the safety and the abundance of the plains. The transition to the night. The river and the plains, once so full of the energy of the crossing, now settle into the quiet, peaceful the observer of the cycle. He remains, a constant, silent presence in the heart of the river, waiting. In the heart of the Mara, the river flows on, a witness to the eternal dance of life and death. And in the silent depths, time holds its breath. This ancient predator is not merely hunting. Millions of hooves drum a chaotic rhythm against the baked earth. They are driven by an instinct older than memory. The edge of the water is a boundary between worlds. Here, hesitation is a survival strategy. Patience is the currency of the swamp. It moves with a lethargy that masks a violent, hidden intent, blending perfectly into the river's sediment. One singular mistake, one moment of misplaced trust, and the delicate equilibrium of the savanna shifts. There is a silent communication here, a language of tension understood by all who dwell in the wild. Fear is not just an emotion, it is a survival mechanism. It pulses through the herd like electricity, a collections. To hunt here requires total immersion into the environment. The Nile crocodile does not merely inhabit this river. Daylight is the enemy of the ambush. As the sun dips lower, the urgency of the crossing intensifies, forcing the wildebeest to choose. This is the true nature of the river, a theater of psychological warfare. The croc plays upon their anxiety, waiting for the wind. Leadership in the wild is not about status, it is about sacrificial vigilance. This bull status. When the decision is finally made, the movement is a singular, unstoppable force. They move as one. The moment of truth arrives on the vibrations of the riverbed. The croc registers the displacement of water distance. In the machinery of the migration, the individual matters little. Yet when one falls, the entire rhythm. Nature is indifferent to the plight of the one. The emergence is a ghost-like process. It rises not with a splash, but with a terrifying, silent intent, revealing the apex predator in Desperation is a loud signal in the silence of the river. It draws the attention of the predator like a beak. There is no malice in the croc's approach, only the cold, unyielding requirement of hunger. It is the physical embodiment of the river's demand. Luck is a fickle companion in the wild. The wildebeest finds a moment of grace, a break in the mud, and surges. As light fails, the boundary between the hunter and the hunted grows thin. The river becomes a dark sense. The disappearance is perhaps more terrifying than the sight of the beast. The knowledge that it is there, hidden in the dark. The threshold of exhaustion is the most dangerous point in the crossing. When the body tires, the mind begins. The water is as much an adversary as the croc. It steals their heat, drags at their heavy legs, and confuses their path. Even in the height of the struggle, the wild remains interconnected. The terns are the silent observers, the harbingers of the river's secrets. It is a master of the terrain, understanding the river's moods better than any inhabitant.
It reads the currents, the depths.
The future of the herd is carried in the calves. Their survival is the goal of the migration, the reason for the peril.
The twilight transition is the most volatile period. Predators like a group of crocodiles become more active. A herd of gazelles becomes more defensive. Even a small disturbance is enough to send a ripple of fear through the herd. They are tuned to the smallest details. Their far bank represents survival, a momentary victory in a lifelong campaign. As they scramble up the slope, they leave the dangers of the water behind.
The individual's dilemma is the most poignant part of the drama. To cross is to risk everything. To stay is to face the hunger of the plains. The gap is closing, not with a sudden rush, but with the inevitable slow drift of a predator who knows that time is on its side.
The instinct for survival is often more powerful than the immediate need for hydration. By choosing to wait, the wild beast by the line between the living and the inanimate is blurred in the river. The croc is a master of mimicry, a silent, armored presence. The night is when the true character of the river reveals itself. It is a time of secrets, of quiet. Respect is earned through size and ferocity. Even the king of the river knows its limits and will cede ground to a Hitlex. The transition from the stress of the crossing to the calm of the grazing is a testament to their resilience. They live in the moment.
Laborious. The day's labor is done, yet the predator remains alert. It is never truly at rest. Its body and always
List. The croc's patience is focused. It ignores the trivial to reserve its energy for the momentous.
Each day brings a new cycle, a fresh start in the endless, unfolding narrative of the savannah.
The cycle resets, the energy renewed. They are the restless spirits of the plains, constantly moving,
The return to the water is as subtle as the sunrise. It is a seamless transition, a reminder that the crocodile is not just an inhabitant of the river.
Experience is the best teacher, even in the wild. The herd has internalized the risks and adapted their behavior, moving with a newfound efficiency. The predator also learns. It watches, it waits, and it adapts its strategy, looking for the weaknesses in the herd's new, more efficient and confident crossing.
The environment is the silent partner in this drama. It offers opportunities and hides dangers.
The urgency is back. The wind, the water, the awareness of the predator, everything converges to create a state of high tension.
The bond between mother and calf is the most powerful force in the wild. It ignores the risk to the individual.
The moment of truth arrives with sudden, explosive force. The predator senses the vulnerability and acts. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to stand against it. The mother's defiance is a powerful, visceral moment, a testament to the primal instinct. The predator's calculation is cold and logical. It weighs the struggle against the potential for an easy, guaranteed success.
The cold, indifferent reality of the migration. The herd moves on, leaving the struggle behind, their commitment to the movement absolute.
It is not a retreat, but a repositioning. The croc understands that the river will offer other, easier opportunities.
And they have survived the impossible. The bond, the courage, and
the day ends as it began, with the cycle continuing, the rhythm of life and death unfolding in a way that is both predictable and endlessly surprising. Beauty and danger are intertwined in the river. It is a paradox, a place of peace and a place of struggle. The ability to forget, or perhaps to simply live in the present, is the secret to their survival. They do not dwell on the dangers they have faced.
The predator is a creature of patience. It understands the rhythm of the river, the needs of the herd.
The night brings a different, more subtle set of challenges. The river is still, the air is cool.
The river is never truly silent. It is a living, breathing entity with its own...
Even in the night, the migration continues. They are the restless, searching spirits of the plains, their path lit by the moon and the stars.
The movement is a testament to the endurance of the species. Millions of years of existence have honed the croc to this, a pendrance. The wind is the voice of the savannah. It tells stories of change, of journeys.
The migration is a diverse, complex community. Different species, different needs, but all driven by the same primal necessity. The caution is key. It is the awareness that separates the living from the dead in the river.
Means patience is a weapon. The crocodile doesn't hunt. It lets the hunt come to it. It is a strategy that has served. That moment of vulnerability is what the predator is waiting for. The entire balance of the situation rests on the stability of a single, slippery stone. Recovery is just as important as the initial step. The ability to correct, to adapt, and to keep moving. Success in the river is not about the immediate, it is about the long term. The croc knows that another opportunity will come. Each day is a new beginning, a fresh opportunity for the cycle to continue. The river wakes.
They have made it. The crossing, the danger, the struggle, it's all behind them, at least for now.
The predator retreats, its work for now complete. It moves with the quiet confidence of an animal that knows its place and its role. The river is bustling, vibrant world, full of life, movement, and sound. It is a place of endless. The river is a mystery, a place of secrets and hidden depths. It is a world unto itself, a complex and beautiful environment. The solitary struggle is the most difficult one. Without the support of the herd, every decision, every movement, and every risk is magnified. The predator is a silent, creeping, and inevitable presence. It doesn't need to chase, it only needs to be in the right place at the right time.
Every step is a commitment. The wildebeest is testing the water, sensing the environment, and responding with a careful. The river, in this moment, becomes a stage for the final act, the culmination of a long Survival is not just about strength. It is about the ability to sense, to decide, and to act.
The hunt ends without a kill, but the cycle continues. The crocodile is a master of patience, a creature that understands that time is on its side.
The river is a constant, a flowing, ever-changing, and beautiful life force.
Resilience is the key to life in the wild. It is the ability to face the challenges, to survive the dangers.
Life in the wild is a complex, interconnected, and diverse community. Everything from the smallest.
The predator and the river are one. It is a deep, ancient, and powerful connection that defines us.
There is a stillness here, a quiet, profound, and deeply moving beauty. It is the lull before the next.
The migration is a perpetual motion machine. It is a drive that is as old as the plains themselves, a powerful and unrelenting.
The predator is a part of the landscape. It is the shadow in the water, the silent watcher, the patient.
The day ends and the night begins. The cycle continues, the rhythm remains, and
the night is a different world. It is a place of peace, of silence, and of beauty. The solitary survivor is a testament to the life force. Even when alone, it remains strong, focused, and persistent.
The beast is at rest, but even now, it is a force to be reckoned with. The night is a living, breathing thing. It is full of secrets, of movements, and of the quiet. The river is the lifeblood of the plains. It is the constant, the flow and the journey, the force that...
The new day is a promise. It is the chance for the cycle to reset.
The migration is a testament to the power of the group. Together, they are unstoppable, resilient, and persistent.
The predator is always ready. It is a creature of the earth, the water, and the light, a master of its world.
The world is vast, beautiful, and full of life. It is a story of struggle, of survival.
This is the story of the river. It is a story of life, of death, and of the eternal resilience. The Mara River flows with deceptive calm, a serpentine artery cutting through the savannah. The Nile crocodile has been motionless for hours, a master of ambush. Its skin is a... Beneath the surface, the crocodile pivots. Its powerful tail makes a subtle adjustment. It has detected.
There is no warning, only a sudden, violent displacement of water. The herd of blue wildebeest scatters. The struggle is intense but brief. The crocodile uses its weight and the leverage of a river to dominate the encounter. The crocodile retreats to the deeper channels, pulling its prize into the sanctuary of the river's depths. Sunlight begins to wane, casting long, dramatic shadows across the empty plains. The river's current is relentless, carrying the debris of the plains toward the horizon. Floating The river is a crowded neighborhood, where every inhabitant has a role to play. The crocodile is the sovereign, its domain defined by the water's edge. The cycle of the migration is a relentless march, a testament to the endurance of life in the face of inevitable challenge. Far across the Serengeti, the horizon glows with the faintest hint of dawn. The crocodile, refreshed by the cool night, settles back into its favorite ambush position. The water is clear, reflecting the awakening sky. A single wildebeest scout approaches the bank, its nostrils flaring as it samples the air.
Police. They are thirsty, desperate, and driven by an instinct that overrides their fear. One by one, they lower them.
A sudden gust of wind blows through the trees, scattering golden leaves across the river. They are vulnerable here, their heads down, their situational awareness diminished. This is the opportunity the crocodile has been waiting for. The herd senses the shift in the air, a subtle change that alerts them to danger. They pull back, their eyes. The crocodile releases a long, slow breath, creating a tiny, bubbling vortex. Deep in the river, the crocodile experiences the shifting currents of the afternoon. The water feels different. A pride of lions stalks the tall grass on the river's far bank, their tawny coats blending into the... The crocodile senses the change in the herd's behavior. They are becoming restless, their heads held high, their nations. The herd turns and moves away from the river, leaving the lions to hunt elsewhere. They are a mobile society. The night is filled with the sounds of the African bush, the distant roar of a lion. The crocodile stirs, its senses awakening to the familiar rhythm of the herd. The game is... Reason. The sun is high now, the heat intense, reflecting off the water's surface in blinding flashes. A group of birds lands on the crocodile's back,
picking off parasites. It is a symbiotic relationship. The crocodile waits, its patience as deep as the river itself. It is a professional of its craft. The herd approaches the water, their movements hesitant and slow. The river is a stage, and the actors are ready. The tension is almost unbearable, a physical presence in the air. The zebra herd, sensing the presence of the crocodile, moves to a different part of the river. They are masters of their actions. The midday heat makes the river shimmer, creating a surreal landscape. The black wildebeests are grazing in the distance. They are the giants of the Mara, a force that even the crocodiles respect. The night is cool and clear, the stars bright and distant.
They have survived the crossing, a test of their endurance and their spirit. The saltwater crocodile, remaining in its place.
As the afternoon wanes, the river begins to cool, the water's surface calm and reflective. The sun rises, painting the sky in colors that are both soft and intense. The river is a ribbon of light. The midday sun is a furnace, the river's water reflecting the heat in shimmering gold. Dawn arrives with a burst of color, painting the sky in shades of crimson and gold. The wildebeests are back. The gore bull makes a sudden, desperate lunge toward the bank, sensing the danger. The river is in chaos.
They are the epitome of endurance, their spirit unbroken by the trials of the crossing.
An American alligator, now partially submerged, watches as the stars begin to fill the night sky. Morning light breaks, revealing a world transformed by the night's activity. The river is calm, its surface still.